Hi everyone, it's Kristyn Burtt with the Hollywood Health Report. Now, dance fans know Courtney Galiano from season 4 of So You Think You Can Dance and VH1's Hit the Floor. But the 26-year-old is also fighting a different battle off the dance floor. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2010, but she's inspiring others with her optimism, and she's raised over $85,000 to date for MS research. All right, well, take us back to when you first felt like something was a little bit different.
I actually think we were in Houston, and my legs started to go numb, and I couldn't feel myself pee, and I couldn't, not to be gross, sorry. And when I put my chin to my chest, there was like this electrical sensation all the way down to my toes, and later to learn that was called Lhermites. And it was really scary, but when I started looking up like what could possibly be wrong, a lot of the symptoms with multiple sclerosis and like a pinched nerve kind of crossed paths. So I said to my mom, I was like, I really would like to be tested for multiple sclerosis. I said it to my boyfriend at the time. I said it to my doctor, and they were like, you don't have multiple sclerosis. And so around the same time, a year later, my stomach went numb, and it was like really tight. Later to learn that this is called the MS hug, and it's very uncomfortable. It's not a good hug. It's not that good kind of hug. And my right side of my face went numb, and my legs went numb. My right leg went numb. And it was interesting because when I was tested for it, they did find lesions on my brain and plaque in my spinal cord. The only thing my family knew of MS was my grandma. She has primary progressive MS, which is the worst kind of MS you could have. I have relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis, which is like I get attacks. My grandma has primary progressive, and then there's secondary progressive, which is when you get an attack and you come from relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis and something sticks. So like when I lost my eyesight, if it stuck and I was completely blind in my left eye, they would say I've moved up to secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. It's kind of ridiculous. I woke up the morning I was dancing for Pitbull at the Divas live show on VH1, and I looked at my phone, and I'm like, because the day before it started to get spotty, which was really strange. And I was like, this is so weird. And I looked at my phone the next morning, and I was like, no, that's not right. So I flew home the next day, but it was really funny. I was dancing for Pitt, and like, they were like, we had to dance on these like desktops in these like, and we all know Mr. 305 likes his women in their heels.
Yep.
So they were like this big, and I'm on top of this little itty bitty desk, and I'm breaking it down, and I'm like, this is Sabotage on live TV. I'm just gonna hit the floor, no pun intended. And it was just really, it was really crazy, and it stayed that way for a really long time. And the steroids, when I went home, I got steroids like 6 times, and it didn't work. And so I was just like, okay, well, I got my right eye, you know?
Right.
So, and what I realized that over time it did come back, but as we started the Hit the Floor seasons, I'll never forget the first Hit the Floor episode that we ever filmed. We had to walk down these stairs and do this like hair whip to one side, and it was covering my eye, and I was like, Courtney Ann, hold your center. Like, get it together. You can't. So I feel like I'm so thankful for dance. Because of dance, I feel like some sort of like warrior soldier or something. Dance literally defies every single thing that this disease tries to take from you, whether it's your balance, your spatial coordination, your movement, just your memory. Dance beats it. You know, it has all to do with the symptoms of MS and completely fights what the disease tries to take. So, which is crazy to think that like my own body, that like I am like, my body's my livelihood, but it's like my own body is somehow in some strange way like fighting against itself, which is the weirdest thing.
What advice do you give to other young adults, even kids that get diagnosed with MS?
Slow down. Like, just like, slow down. I think because of the uncertainty and because of it's not predictable, I think it's caused me to just slow down. Like, stressing and anxiety does not help the situation. Anything with your immune system is not a joke. And so stress and anxiety genuinely triggers that. Okay. And so I think to just keep your head up and to keep pushing and to surround yourself with good people. And anybody who stresses you out, dunzo. Like,
See you later.
Purell, clean your hands of them. Like, it's imperative. Your health is number one, because if you're not your best, no one else is going to get the best of you. So the Beat MS Dance Walk is, we do it every year. This is our second year doing it, and I definitely hope it's something that kind of spreads to other chapters. We have the people from So You Think You Could Dance, ABDC, Hit the Floor. We have the Hair Tribe this year from the musical, and you know, it's just an amazing event. It's kind of like mini flash mobs, and I just think what better way to beat this disease than to dance.
And if you could just sort of leave one mark on there in the world, one Courtney mark, what would it be?
My mom, when I was first diagnosed, she was like, I just don't want, I think out of fear and love for me, she was like, I just don't want your name associated with, like, when they think of your name with all of the great things that you've done, I just don't want them to see MS. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind it, because I'm strong enough, like, to handle it and to carry that load for people who can't. So I'm good. And so I think just to, like, make my mark and just affect people in a positive way.
Courtney, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate it. This is Kristyn Burtt with your Hollywood Health Report from Lifescript.com.